You're listening to Trigger Warnings, Challenging Talk Radio. John Ross is on the line and Chris Smith here in the high desert. The last show from the high desert before I had points east or west. John is in the heart of American carnage.
I'm in the heart of American carnage in my Prius bubble.
Sitting in his bubble.
It is hermetically sealed. And, you know, this could be our last show ever.
Why do you say that?
Who knows what will happen on the Korean Peninsula? My bet is nothing bad will happen because Mike Pence is going to be there. And, I don't think it would be fair to send him into the thick of thermonuclear war.
Mike Pence is going to North Korea?
No, he's going to South Korea.
Oh.
Depending on the wind. If the wind is favorable, he might go to North Korea. But it really depends on the nuclear aftershock. You know? So we'll see.
Well, let's hope this is not the last show ever, because you're going to lose this week's quiz, and I'm going to win. Here's hoping. I believe my quiz. I have many good questions for you, John.
And let's just recap what happened a week ago. It was really no contest, as I won 6-2, but I went into neutral for the last several questions. I didn't want too bad of a slaughter. So, given that
What do you mean you went
already
into neutral? What kind of revisionist history is this?
Given that you have already thrown down the proverbial quiz gauntlet, I am just, my expectations for my performance this week are quite low. So I do not expect to win because I believe you have been in deep thought and preparation, and you're coming up with questions about, things that I never heard of.
Well, no, I waited until this morning because there's been enough in motion this week. If I had built these questions on Wednesday, they would have had a relevance that, of course, you would be familiar with. We're all familiar with Wednesday's events.
Well, I must say I have a couple in here for you that are kind of easy, I think, and but again, I don't expect to win. I just show up and play the game and call him as I see him, and Lord willing, and the creek will rise. Maybe I'll survive.
Are you a registered Democrat? Can I ask, with that attitude?
No, I am not. We do not register. We go in and we ask for ballots from respective parties. Okay. And the last time we had a primary in Illinois, I pulled a Republican ballot.
You did. Look at you.
That's what I did. I voted for one of my favorite governors.
Okay, well, look, you've got a warm-up question for me.
I have a warm-up question for you, and mine is I have a very dark warm-up question.
Oh, no.
My dark warm-up question was composed midweek. And I figured, even though midweek sounds like a long time ago, and these days it is, we still have to commemorate and embrace the news from the midweek.
The events of 4 days ago? Okay, hit me with this.
All right, you ready? Since Sean Spicer affirmed this week that, quote, even Adolf Hitler, quote, didn't use chemical gas on his own people, what gas didn't Hitler use to exterminate millions? Was it A, sarin, just like Ashad, B, ricin, or C, Zyklon B?
Which of those was not used by Germany during World War II?
It's a satirical question. Which gas did Hitler use to exterminate millions? Sarin, ricin, Zyklon B.
I think it's C, isn't it?
That would be Zyklon B?
Yeah.
Yes, it is Zyklon B. See, there you go. A dark.
I warned you. There was no satire to be had. I believe that we're beyond. We're beyond satire in terms of what happens in the Brady briefing room sometimes.
I don't know. I think there must be room for satire.
Well,
Or
that quiz question didn't strike me as satire. But I get you. I get you. So what does that mean? I go first. You go first.
Well,
What?
unless you have a warm-up question and you want to, or you may save your warm-up question and use it as an interval question or a backup question. I don't know. But given that I did win last week, I suppose I had the option whether to kick off or receive.
Yeah, you do whatever you want.
And I think out of the generosity, but no, you got it right. So out of the generosity of my heart, I am going to kick off because my first question for you is kind of a gimme.
Okay.
Are you ready for the first question? All right. On Thursday, only 2 days ago, the U.S. dropped what it called the mother of all bombs, a 22,000-plus pound device on supposed ISIS territory on Afghanistan. What is the actual name of this device, and why is it so named? A, mother of all bombs, for obvious reason. B, Moab, M-O-A-B, because it was designed at a federal research facility in Utah. 3, massive ordnance air blast, because the military couldn't deal with calling it a bomb. D, management of aggressive behavior, because it is designed to wipe out insurgents' newly acquired space. Or E, mother of all battles, because it was designed for the 2003 Iraq invasion, and military propagandists wanted to mock Saddam Hussein, who coined the term. What does Moab stand for?
It's mother of all bombs, I believe.
The question is that its official name?
Yes.
And that is what
yes, I believe so.
No, I thought
okay.
massive ordnance air blast.
You know what? And I saw this article, and I went searching. I wanted to ask you which defense contractor built Moab. And I'm pretty sure I saw an article calling it the mother of all bombs.
That is the working, affectionate, we love you 22,000-pound bomb name that the guys at Grand Forks or wherever they keep this stuff call their weapon. However, the official military term is a different MOAB acronym, and it stands for Massive Ordnance Air Blast. There is a whole sub-specialty of the communication discipline scholarly literature devoted to this terminology of how offensive weapon and military stuff is characterized. It's called technological something, and it's really fascinating. But nonetheless, I thought that was an easy one. It wasn't, and we're to the bottom of the first, and I have a chance to take an early lead.
Yeah, good luck. Here you go. Coach.
Oh, this has become cutthroat. Trigger warning.
I mean, it depends on how many. It depends on what headlines you've seen today. Coachella Music Festival is happening this weekend at the Lavish Empire Club in Indio, California. What artist experienced a failure of the amplification system during their performance last night?
For God's sake.
Was it A?
Okay.
Was it A, American musical legends, the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, who found half their mics weren't working? B, noted piano angst maven Tori Amos, whose piano but not vocals could be heard by the audience? Is it C, glitch rock aficionados Radiohead, who walked off stage twice in disgust? Or is it D, heirs apparent to the Brit rock legacy Coldplay, who attempted to perform acoustically to the tens of thousands of fans when they found the PA wasn't working. Who found out last night the PA was not working at Coachella Music Festival in Indio, California?
Well, Preservation Hall Jazz Band doesn't have acoustics, so they don't care. The second one is Tori Amos. Is that what you said?
Uh-huh.
The third one is...
Radiohead.
And the fourth one is not Coldplay, but it's the wannabe Coldplay.
No, it is. It's Coldplay. I just described the band as heirs apparent to the Brit rock legacy.
Okay. So everybody hates Coldplay. So that would be just, for some reason I think it's Radiohead. So I'm going with my first instinct and say Radiohead.
Oh, man. And John takes the lead. Unfortunate. I can't believe you got that. That's incredible.
For some reason, my first instinct. Okay, the score at the end of inning 1, Dr. Ross 1, Dr. Smith 0. We have an upset in the making. Question 2, it is a quote. It can start by being beautiful in a way that ordinary American citizens appreciate, rather than by being starkly institutional or by catering to the controversial and perverse tastes of the elites. It can start by being beautiful in a way that ordinary American citizens appreciate, rather than by being starkly institutional or by catering to the controversial and perverse tastes of the elites. Who said this about what? Maine governor and potential Senate candidate Paul LePage on a new 9/11 memorial in Portland commemorating the point of entry of several of the Saudi terrorists who hijacked the planes that flew into the World Trade Tower. B, the head of an Illinois firm proposing a vision of the border wall. C, a Pentagon official speaking of a new military cemetery near Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, the first post-Afghan war military cemetery to be built. Or D, a new building dedicated to research and coursework and internet-based intelligence gathering to be located on the campus of the U.S. Naval War College. A 9/11 memorial in Portland, Maine, the wall, a military cemetery to be built at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and a new building at the U.S. Naval War College devoted to research and coursework in internet-based intelligence gathering.
It can be beautiful without catering to the wishes of the elite? Is that what?
It can start by being beautiful in a way that ordinary American citizens appreciate, rather than by being starkly institutional or by catering to the controversial and perverse tastes of the elites.
The perverse tastes of the elite?
That's what it says.
Who was it from the military cemetery?
Military cemetery is one of the options.
Yeah,
Yep.
and who was the speaker, the alleged speaker of my choice there?
A Pentagon official from the department that...
No Pentagon official is going to say perverse taste of the elite. Now, really? So that one's out, but that was my first choice. Give me my remaining 3, please.
Maine Governor Paul LePage talking about the construction of a 9/11 memorial in Portland. The head of an Illinois firm that's proposing a vision of the border wall, or a new building on the Naval War College campus dedicated to research and coursework and internet intelligence gathering.
It's between the Maine governor and the wall. I'm going to go with the wall.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, because that would put the quote to be a private firm speaking about the wall.
We don't need no education. You're right.
Hooray!
And of course, that article was from a foreign newspaper.
Right.
It was from The Guardian, which of course is just dissing stupid Americans for their wall and their visions for it. Okay, the score is 1-1, bottom of the second. I'm ready.
All right, here you go. This question is a celebration because you know who won a Pulitzer this week?
I do. Well, I know some.
You know why? Who? Who am I talking about?
What's the quote?
This person won a Pulitzer, quote, for rising to the moment with beautifully rendered columns that connected readers to the shared virtues of Americans during one of the nation's most divisive political campaigns.
Yes, I get it without the multiple choice. Do I get double points?
That's not the question. I assumed you knew that Peggy Noonan won a Pulitzer. She used her new stature to write a column explaining why we must all be nicer to whom? This is not your question either. I'm just wondering if you know.
We must be nicer to immigrants.
No, Steve Bannon. But long before she was the Wall Street Journal's editorial darling, Noonan tried to make ends meet as an adjunct professor teaching journalism. At what school did Peggy Noonan serve as an adjunct professor of journalism? Is it A, NYU, B, Columbia, C, Rutgers, or D, Princeton?
Oh, I didn't think it was any of them in the New York area. I was going to say George Mason, which is where all the conservatives go to teach.
Or E, George Mason?
Is that really one of the answers?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I want you to get what you want.
NYU, Princeton, Columbia, Rutgers.
That's right.
What year? Do you have the year?
Is that necessary? I do have the year. 1978 to 1979.
Yeah, that would help. That helps a lot, actually.
See, I shouldn't have given it to you. I should have said no. I don't have the year.
Because that was before she wrote speeches for Reagan. Well, I'm going to go with the one that's not like the others, which is Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, as opposed to Duke University, the State University of New Jersey.
Well,
the answer is Rutgers.
The answer is NYU. Oh, I got you.
Oh. All right, we're tied. That was a good one. That was very good.
And the moral of the story. What's the moral of the story inside of the question?
The moral of what story?
The moral of the story. The first column that Peggy Noonan wrote following receiving a Pulitzer Prize was about how we all need to be nicer to not everybody, not each other, not people that are different from us, but Steve Bannon.
Well, he is different from us. Okay.
Okay.
Number 3, top of the third. The White House confirmed this week that the president's salary for the first quarter of the year after taxes was donated to whom? This is not the question. Do you know to whom it was donated?
I don't. Steve Wynn?
To the National Park Service. To what specific service or initiative is that money dedicated? So it was at the National Park Service, but it's a particular National Park Service program, initiative, or installation. A, purchasing photographic equipment that confirms more people attended the Trump inaugural than the Obama inaugural. B, upkeep and maintenance of Lower Manhattan's 9/11 Memorial. C, military battlefields. D, upkeep of the Statue of Liberty and Liberty Island. Or E, maintenance and repair of the Ronald Reagan birthplace in Eureka, Illinois. Where will the Trump salary after taxes for the first quarter of the year be dedicated by the National Park Service?
Man.
Well, the best answer is the first one, purchasing photographic equipment that proved more people went to his inaugural. I thought that was pretty good.
That's very funny. That's very funny, but I don't think that's it.
We are not post-satire. I want you to keep that in mind.
Reagan, the Reagan birthplace, that's in the running. And what were the other two?
Upkeep and maintenance of the 9/11 Memorial in Lower Manhattan, military battlefields, upkeep of the Statue of Liberty and Liberty Island.
Military battlefields sounds like the right generality that would come with such a decree.
You are sticking with that option?
Well, because the Statue of Liberty is allocated in a budget. The 9/11 Memorial, I can't imagine the upkeep of that is something that's hurting. So, yeah, I'm going to go with just generally military battlefields.
Wow, that was really good. Yes, it is military battlefield.
Hey, thank you.
I mean, the money you can give it to the National Park Service, and it can be put into escrow and used whenever it's needed. But yes, it is military battlefield. You have taken a lead.
Thank you. I am very
Bottom of the
excited.
third.
It's the bottom of the third, and John, here's your chance. You can tie it up right here. You can prevent a runaway. Let me make sure you get the right question. No, the next question is the right question. Vaping is all the rage. Quote, when used and charged, vaping,
Yeah.
When used and charged properly, vapor products pose no more of a fire risk than any other product that is powered by lithium-ion batteries like cell phones or laptops. Gregory Conley, president of the American Vaping Association, said in a statement this week, after who or what banned vaping and e-cigarettes at all facilities. Is it A, Amtrak, after a number of incidents of passengers' devices exploding while charging batteries? Or is it B, Amtrak, after a number of incidents of passengers consuming cannabis concentrates, including THCA crystalline, purple punch sativa live rosin, hybrid jelly hash, natural live trichomes, and other goodies on train rides, bothering other passengers? Is it C, the U.S. Army, for fear of exploding batteries in cheaply made devices? Or is it D, the U.S. Navy, for fear of exploding batteries in cheaply made devices? Who or what banned vaping and all e-cigarettes this week?
Okay, so the first two were Amtrak? Both Amtrak.
Both Amtrak, but for different reasons.
And the second reason that Amtrak was because people were lighting up stuff that was really not vape, or they were vaping seriously dangerous stuff.
I'm gonna read it again. Amtrak, after a number of incidents of passengers consuming cannabis concentrates, including THCA crystalline, purple punch sativa live rosin, hybrid jelly hash, natural live trichomes, and other goodies on train rides bothering other passengers.
The answer is not Amtrak. It is it's the Navy. It's the Navy, because if stuff blows up in the Navy, it's bad.
Man, you got it. The score is now tied.
All right, 2-2. Top of the fourth. General Doctor, for PhD, of course, H.R. McMaster, the National Security Advisor, like us, a native of the city of brotherly love, has been in the news a lot lately. What does HR stand for? This has more than the normal number of responses.
Oh, man, what is this? I think we should be limited to 4.
You will understand why when I read them, and you may have two guesses.
Okay.
Okay. What does HR McMaster stand for? A, Human Resources, down the hall, last door on the right. B, Human Rights. C. Hubert Reginald. T. Herbert Raymond. E. Harry Reid. F. Harry Reams. G. Herman Rollins. H. Heinrich Rubens. I. Harvey Rickover. J. None of your damn business.
Wow. If I had this in front of me, it would be a difficult thing. What was the one with the Reginald in it?
So the funny ones aside, Harold Ramis was in here, but I took that one out.
Oh, that's lovely. I would have gone with that.
Harold Ramis? What does the HR stand for? Human Resources, Human Rights, Hubert Reginald, Herbert Raymond, Harry Reid, Harry Reams, Herman Rollins, Heinrich Rubens, Harvey Rickover, or none of your damn business. Now, we can do this like So You Want to Be a Millionaire, and if you want me to eliminate...
Yeah, please. Give me, you know, I just need to hear the real ones, not Harry Reid.
All right, I will get it down. How about Harry Reams?
Come on now.
All right, I will cut it down to the 5 real ones. Okay, so Human Resources is out. Hubert Reginald, Herbert Raymond, Herman Rollins, Heinrich Rubens, Harvey Rickover.
It's not Harvey. It's not Heinrich. So...
But there are some famous people with those names who have military backgrounds.
Oh, you know what? I've lost the point of caring. I don't care. Hubert Reginald.
No, it's Herbert Raymond. I'm sorry.
See?
Herbert, Dr. General Herbert Raymond McMaster from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the University of North Carolina. How many others have turned their dissertation into a #1 selling book on Amazon? How many?
Is that rhetorical? Can I get multiple choice on that?
No. I mean, seriously, that was his dissertation was adapted into the best-selling novel, a best-selling treatise on Vietnam. Okay, the score is 2-2. I'm in the bottom of the 4th.
All right. Facebook took down a major fake people situation within its virtual walls this week. Shabnam Shayak is a technical program manager on the project and care team, and he said of this situation, quote, It is made up of inauthentic likes and comments that appear to come from accounts located in Bangladesh, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, and a number of other countries. We found that most of this activity was generated not through traditional mass account creation methods, but by more sophisticated means that try to mask the fact that these accounts are part of the same coordinated operation. They use tricks.
Wow.
I know. They use tricks to avoid detection, including redirecting their traffic through proxies that disguise their location. According to multiple reports, one news site saw the elimination of millions of likes following Facebook's remedy of this situation. What news source lost millions of, quote, inauthentic likes and comments this week? Was it A, USA Today, B, the New York Times, C, the Daily Beast, or D, the Free Thought Project?
What's D again?
The Free Thought Project.
Well, I don't know what that is. USA Today, New York Times. The answer is the Daily Beast.
That's your final answer?
It is.
The answer is USA Today.
Ah!
Isn't that fascinating?
So you know what's interesting is your questions are becoming like mine. They're getting long, and mine are becoming shorter.
Well,
Right, so
the answers are very short. The question has a long explanation.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Very excellent. That was an excellent question.
Thank you.
Excellent question. Very hard to discern There was nothing inductive about that for me, that reasoning. So, okay, British tabloid The Sun is famous for its provocative content, not the least of which is a daily photo of a topless, limey lass. One recent provocative headline in the paper was entitled, "Up Yours, Senors." What was the subject of this provocative banner? A, the 2-1 victory of England's national soccer team over Spain in a friendly match held during the peak of World Cup qualifying. 2, or B, England's victory over Spain in the final of the famed Eurovision Song Contest. C, a report that Britain's departure from the EU might affect the status of Gibraltar and its possible turning over of control to Spain. Or D, the deportation of 12 illegal Guatemalans after they were caught in a drug sting by Scotland Yard.
Oh, goodness.
For what story did The Sun proclaim a headline, "Up Yours, Senors," this week? England over Spain in soccer, England over Spain in the Eurovision Song Contest, a report that Gibraltar might be going to Spain from England, or D, deportation of illegal Guatemalans caught in a drug raid.
It's not the Guatemalans. It's not the Rock of Gibraltar. I mean, I know what the Eurovision Song Contest is. I haven't spent enough time across the pond to understand if people really care. I've got to think it's Well, I got to think it's the World Cup, because Seniors is plural, and the Eurovision Song Contest, I mean, while it's country versus country, there's always a sense of celebrity behind the composer when it comes down to the finals, as I understand.
So it's soccer. That is your answer.
That is my answer.
So you used inductive reasoning, but you just glossed over the right answer. No, it is Gibraltar. There was a report that Britain's departure from the EU could affect the control of that little piece of the rock. And the lakes, presumably. And it's a beautiful place, Gibraltar. I have been there. It's like where anybody who wants to be a British subject can go and feel safe.
Okay, I didn't understand that. And I didn't understand, so give me the context for the topless picture that the Sun ran?
No, because the Sun
picture of the woman who was topless?
Most of the tabloids in Britain, the Sun notably, feature a topless woman on.
Did you just mention that in this context of a story about Gibraltar in its headline?
All I said that the tabloid Sun is famous for its provocative content, and that this was a provocative headline.
So it wasn't like there was a picture of a topless woman with the Rock of Gibraltar behind her. You were just throwing that in. That's wonderful. That's great.
Thank you. I am just setting up the context for the Sun and some of its provocative content, of which a headline that says "Up Yours, Senors" would be an example.
All right. I see.
You
I get you.
I was giving you a sports question. See, I fooled you because you don't like sports questions, and you thought I was giving you a sports question. And instead, I gave you the old dipsy doodle.
Well, no, there's nothing old about British sensationalism in its journalism, so...
No, and the Gibraltar story is not sensational at all.
But the whole topless thing, what are you doing? Okay, fine. Ready? Are you ready?
Fine. Bottom of the fifth.
Once upon a time, there was a swamp. Once upon a time, there was a swamp, and someone said, let's build a city here. And we'll call it Washington, D.C. And everyone thought it was a great idea. And many cretins and villains and thieves went there for many, many years. Now, 1 week from today, in that city built on a swamp, the March for Science will be taking place. Which of these? It'll be taking place in that city built on a swamp, but many other places. Which of these is not an official sponsor or endorser of this event, as listed at marchforscience.com? A, NYU. B, the Nature Conservancy, C,
Ooh.
MIT Press, or D, the Sierra Club? Which of these is not listed as an official sponsor or endorser of the March for Science, taking place 1
So
week from today?
Okay, so New York University, MIT Press, the Sierra Club, and the Nature Conservancy.
That's correct.
The answer is the Nature Conservancy.
Why do you say that?
Because the Nature Conservancy isn't really that heavy into science, unless it's the answer is MIT Press, because that could be. It's not MIT. It's publishing house. But the answer is what I said it was, which is the Nature Conservancy. Sierra Club is more science oriented in its nature stuff. The Nature Conservancy is more like a trust. It buys stuff up. So I think it's less oriented towards science.
Well, I appreciate your reasoning. Unfortunately, it is the Sierra Club.
Oh, wonderful. That's fantastic.
They are not an official sponsor or endorser of the upcoming March for Science. NYU, Nature Conservancy, MIT Press, and hundreds of others are.
Is there any particular reason why the Sierra Club is not, or you just...
No, it struck me, and I found, I was looking at the list, and I wanted to come up with an organization that I could list in this question, and it struck me that the Sierra Club was not listed there. I went to their website, and yeah.
I have a question very much like that, but given that you have, in honor of the March for Science, I am going to ask you a question about science.
In honor of me holding up, what is the score?
It's 2-2 as we enter the sixth inning.
That's pretty impressive.
Speaking of science...
Oh, yes. Please do speak of science.
Or as Thomas Dolby would say, a recent scholarly paper published in the American Journal of Political Science called On with the Wind, Federalism and the Strategic Location of Air Polluters. That is the actual title. That's why I picked it. This paper postulates that, consistent with its title, state governments and private firms tend to locate what they call, quote, polluting facilities, unquote, where? A, in areas that put the brunt of environmental and health problems on other communities and jurisdictions. B, in densely populated urban areas. C, in sparsely populated rural areas. D, in urban and rural areas heavily populated by poor people. Or E, in areas where liability insurance costs and exposures are cheapest. Where do governments and private firms, according to this beautifully named paper, tend to locate polluting facilities?
Follow the money. Follow the money means it's the last one. It's about the liability insurance.
Is that your final answer?
Let me hear A and C again, please.
I'll give them all to you. A, in areas that put the brunt of environmental and health problems on other communities and jurisdictions. B, densely populated urban areas. C, sparsely populated rural areas. D, urban and rural areas heavily populated by poor people. Or E, where liability insurance costs and exposures are cheapest.
Well, both D and E could support the same thesis. More than one of these could be proven in a nice piece of scholarly research. So I need the content, I need the authors, or at least a sense of who wrote this and where was it published?
It was written by three political scientists. I don't know where. I did not save that part.
And where was it published? Do you know?
The American Journal of Political Science.
All right. It's the one about poor people.
Urban and rural areas heavily populated by poor people. That's a really good answer, and so is the one about liability insurance costs. But I made the quote up. No, the answer directly from the summary is in areas that put the brunt of environmental and health problems on other communities and jurisdictions. So basically, if you want to get out of, if you're a state government or a private firm and you want other people to pay for your problems, put it like on a border between two states.
Huh.
Basically.
That's very interesting.
The title of the paper, Gone with the Wind, Federalism and the Strategic Location of Air Polluters, is just great. I mean, and in fact, that paper, perhaps unknowingly, unwittingly, created a new acronym, SLAP, Strategic Location of Air Polluters.
Oh, would you stop with the acronyms? Here's one. It's PF.
You're upset.
No, I'm not. I want to mention that the city of Bennington, Vermont, and the town of Hoosick Falls, New York, both suffer from the same groundwater type pollution from a company that built Teflon type plastics and stuff. And the acronym for the carcinogen in the water is PFOA. It's very interesting that the same company built a factory on one side of the border and the other, within 30 miles of each other. So the wind would blow and liability would blow across the border.
You are correct, sir. That is correct. That is exactly what the postulation of that scholarly paper is. So I have seen your science and raised it.
Well, thank you. Well, let's get out of this scientific realm. Who tweeted this?
Oh God.
Quote, "Be prepared. There is a small chance that our horrendous leadership could unknowingly lead us into World War III." Was that A, leftist Yoda Noam Chomsky this past week? Was it B, withered warmongering archetype Henry Kissinger 2 weeks ago? Was it C, known liar Alex Pizzagate Jones this past week, alongside an image of troops in the streets in North Korea? Or D, Comrade Trump in 2013? Be prepared. Be prepared. There's a small chance that our horrendous leadership could unknowingly lead us into World War III.
So 3 of these things you're saying were uttered this week. The 4th one was uttered by Generalissimo Trumpo in 2013.
That's correct.
Is that correct? So the first one is
Noam Chomsky.
Noam Chomsky, Alex Jones.
I'm sorry, wait a minute. Noam Chomsky was this past week. Henry Kissinger said it 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Alex Jones said it this past week, and Comrade Trump said it in 2013.
No, that's a really excellent attempted diversion, and for all I know, it may have worked. But I believe it is Boy Scout Trump from 2013.
You're right.
Yes. I've taken the lead. That was very good, though. The Henry Kissinger one.
Okay,
really...
here's your bonus. You don't get anything, but of those 4 people, who tweeted this? Quote, "For breakfast, I drank a kale and banana smoothie. It wasn't great, it wasn't terrible." Was that Noam Chomsky, Henry Kissinger, Alex Jones, or Donald Trump?
It's Alex Jones.
No, that's Henry Kissinger. Isn't that amazing? That was the last thing he tweeted over a year ago.
And you know what he tweeted right before he said that? Absolute kale corrupts absolutely. And okay, I have the lead, and I now am going to be tactical because I have 4 questions, 5.
Is that all we have left? Wait a minute. We have 5 questions left, right? No, 1, 2.
I have 4 four. We have
yes, I have four.
I have a choice of five. All right, I'm going to bring this one in because
you want to clinch
somebody
the lead.
has to.
You want to? Yeah, okay.
Somebody has to. Okay, from March 31st to April 7th, a whole buttload of advertisers left Bill O'Reilly's cable show. Which of these aptly named firms did not cease advertising, at least as of April 7th, according to the paper of record, the New York Times? One of these firms did not cease advertising on O'Reilly's show as of April 7th. Was it pest control company Terminix? B, the Society for Human Resource Management, which produces information on managing sexual harassment in the workplace. C, LegalZoom, which helps people draw up legal contracts. D, ComfortClick, whose name sounds so shady we don't want to know what it sounds. Or E, Roundup, which makes a weed killer. One of these, they all advertised on the O'Reilly show as of March 31st. One of them was still advertising as of April 7th. Terminix, Society for Human Resources Management, LegalZoom, ComfortClick, which, by the way, makes belts, I think, or Roundup. One of them was still advertising on the show as of April 7th.
That's a very, very good one. ComfortClick.
Isn't it?
ComfortClick is a cheap, expandable belt type thing. I'm gonna go with LegalZoom.
LegalZoom, the do-it-yourself legal contract software firm.
That's right.
No, it is ComfortClick.
Oh man!
See, I had to go pick names of companies that either the names were kind of shady or the product, like weed killer, roach control. ComfortClick was still advertising as of April 7th. I don't know if it is still advertising now that Dana Perino has taken over, possibly for forever. But I have a chance now to go up 2 points with only 3 rounds to go.
Wow.
All
right. Well, look, it's not the runaway that it was last week. I'm holding up.
It's the bottom, and it's the bottom of the 7th. I'm standing up now and singing "Take Me Out to the Quiz Show." So
well, get ready. Stand up and cheer for this question. You're going to love this.
I am prepared.
Fast food chains branding is extending to social media in a big way. Have you heard about this?
Wow. That fast food marketing, fast food firms are branding on social media. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Wendy's Twitter account has attacked rival chain McDonald's over the use of fresh ground beef in their hamburgers. This week, Wendy's Twitter account was blocked by a rival chain. Who blocked Wendy's and why? Was it A, Hardee's, after both chains interjected themselves into a Twitter argument between 2 individuals over which restaurant has the better 4-for-4 deal? Was it B, Burger King, after Wendy's publicly challenged the size of the Whopper? Was it C, Pizza Hut, after Wendy's, unprovoked, started tweeting nutritional information at the popular pizza chain? Or was it D, popular fast food Chinese chain Panda Pavilion, after Wendy's tweeted at them saying, quote, "We're always hungry a half hour after eating Chinese. Why? Question mark. Who blocked Wendy's on Twitter this week and why?
Okay, it's not the Panda. I'm going again with my first gut, not inductive reasoning, but because it's such an obnoxious, because the king is so scary, Burger King.
Burger King's a great answer. The answer is Hardee's. The answer is Hardee's. So
Okay.
2 individuals were just, like out of the blue, randomly they were arguing about who's got the better $4 deal, and Wendy's got involved in it, and then Hardee's saw that Wendy's was involved in it and said to Wendy's, just because you were the first doesn't mean you're the best. And then Wendy's responded to Hardee's by saying, tell us who the fourth person was on the moon without Googling it. And that's what got Hardee's to block Wendy's on Twitter. I think that's hilarious. And
Okay, well, again, all right, well, it's a very good question. And now I'm thinking whether I should change my order, or I have 4 really good questions left.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to...
What's the score? What's the score? Let me just be clear. It's 4-3, right?
2-2, top of the 8th.
Oh, it's a 2-2? I thought you got one.
Oh, yes, I know. It's 3-2. Thank you so much. You are an honest man. 3-2. Here's question number 8. The LoveGov, now the ex-LoveGov, Alabama former Chief Executive Robert Bentley, was not only using state resources to conceal his tryst and smarmy texts with Rebecca Mason, he and she were, according to the Impeachment Council's special report, also doing the following. A, using political calculations to drive the closure of Department of Motor Vehicle offices, specifically those located in black communities. B, directing millions in road construction contracts to business cronies and those who promised to keep their affairs secret. C, threatening to ban journalists from the governor's press briefings if they fail to publish and broadcast favorable reports about Bentley. Or D, using millions in state funds to take at least 4 foreign junkets billed as trade missions, whose plans included creating fake identities and ID cards for Mason so that the two could cavort on taxpayers' money. What did the Alabama Special Impeachment Council's report, issued after the governor had resigned, say that he and his mistress or text mistress were doing in addition to using state resources to hide their affair?
Well, wait. They were using state resources to hide their affairs, then that... Okay, so your last answer was a press junket? No, a travel trip? Something?
Yeah, the extra was they were going on trade missions.
Trade missions.
So closing DMV offices, road construction contracts to cronies who would shut up, cronies and those who would keep the affair secret, threatening to keep journalists out of his press briefings unless they published and wrote and broadcast good stuff about it, or the foreign trade mission junkets.
I'm going to say the road construction, because that's just, that sounds very typical. That sounds the most plausible.
It is very typical. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, it's not what was in the report. They used political calculations to drive the closure of motor vehicle department offices in black communities. So it was really about minimizing, if you need a driver's license to vote, if you close DMV offices, it's harder to get a license. Black people then harder to vote, et cetera, yada, yada, yada.
Wow.
Yeah, just kind of standard political nasty. But the LoveGov is out. Did you read some of those texts? My goodness.
No, I don't have time for that. Hey, I have 3 questions left for you.
I need to get only one correct to clinch at least a tie for another title.
That's right, but the score remains 3-2.
It remains 3-2 as we enter the bottom of the 8th.
Okay. Which of these is not a real tweet from the rogue POTUS staff account this week? Which of these is not a real tweet?
No.
Quote, some closed ranks convos happening that are making many nervous. What can POTUS be talking about that has to be hidden from Pence? B, the media have been complicit from day one, milking POTUS for every shed of ratings they can get out if him crazy sells better journalism. C, Spicer is desperate to protect Reince, but twice as desperate to protect himself. Or D. Ivanka wasn't, quote, heartbroken, quote, at Syrian chem attack. Quote, we have to look like we care, quote, were her exact words. Eric selling political propaganda. Which of these was not a real tweet from the rogue POTUS staff account this week?
They're all so good. So, Rice is nice, but Spicer's twice. That's one of them. That Ivanka didn't really care about the gas tax. That there's something going on. They're hiding stuff from Mike Pence, probably because he's going to thermonuclear city. And then the media is along for the ride.
That's right.
It's the media. It's the one about the media.
You think that was not a real tweet?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm sorry, but the answer is C. And I only swapped these names, and that's kind of devious, but the original tweet was Reince is desperate to protect Spicer, but twice as desperate to protect himself. See, I swapped the names and put it in there, so that was the fake one.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
But no, I would say the media have been complicit since day one, and it's very interesting that someone would be saying that. Oh, my.
It doesn't matter. Okay, well, now
It's still 3-2.
It's still 3-2, but you have to get at least one right. I don't know. All right, I'm going to go with this one because it's along the topic. According to the Miami Herald, Mar-a-Lago, Country Club to the Stars, and One President present a new type of risk to the president, foreign dignitaries, and its $200,000 a year dues-paying members. What is it? A, its design makes it very difficult to protect the Trump family without displacing and therefore chasing away members. B, bugs, literally bugs, eating high-tech equipment installed all around the property designed to facilitate secure communications and safety. C, multiple sanitation violations in the kitchen, especially too high temperatures for storing meat and fish served to guests. Or D, Melania Trump's personal security requirements. She insists on absolutely minimal public exposure, on running up Secret Service costs even beyond those record numbers already reported. What is the newest risk of Mar-a-Lago according to Miami Herald?
I like the bugs. Give me the A answer again. What was it?
Its design makes it very difficult to protect the Trump family without displacing